All right, guys, it's me again. Had a few people ask about, like, how do you keep your kids on track? What do we do with our entire day? There's a lot of questions for people that have just been thrown into this. So, if you are an independent homeschooler and you are not affiliated with, let's just say, like an online public school, because that technically isn't homeschooling. Homeschooling is when mom makes the plans, chooses the curriculum, and sets the schedule. And if you're, creating your portfolio, like I showed you in the other video, this is something too that might pertain to you. Now, as listed in the portfolio, I showed you samples of work for the kids that had dates on it. Now, I've been to one evaluation that the evaluator has asked me for like a daily plan. One out of my eight evaluations has asked for like daily plans. I don't know that it's something that everyone keeps, but it's something that kind of just, I don't know, it makes me feel better about homeschooling in general and just schedule for my kids and accountability. So this is how we do most of our days. Now, I will say we're pretty flexible. I'm not the type of person that says, we got to get up at 8 o'clock and start school at 8:30. It's just not how it works. Eventually my kids have grown enough to where I allow them to kind of make their own schedules, and they know what I expect from them, and they get to choose how they spend their day. And now there are consequences if they don't get their stuff done. They know that, like maybe their sports, we might be late to their sports, or they might not be able to go somewhere if they don't get their stuff done in time. So this is kind of a way that I've been able to keep my kids on track. And it's also really good because at the end of the year, I can just show the evaluator, okay, here's my portfolio, here's all my kids' work samples, here is proof that every single day, we generally worked on some stuff. Now you can see this is kind of a mess. These are two different systems that we've used through the years. This is just, simple. I think it was like an $8 planner, like an academic planner. I want to say maybe it's like probably a middle school planner. And it was like maybe $8 on Amazon. So you'll see it has, different subjects listed here on the side, right? So then at the beginning of the year, I kind of started filling in, obviously we don't do every subject every day. Some people do, we don't. But I would just kind of fill in what they needed to do every day. Now, as the year progressed, I would basically give Hartley a list. Goodness gracious, this is a mess. I would give her a list at the beginning of the week, and I would say, you're responsible for getting, 3 math lessons done this week. You're responsible for getting, 8 chapters read. You're responsible for getting, a writing assignment done. And so I would allow her, as you can see, this is her handwriting, to kind of, write stuff in on the days that she wanted to do them. Okay. But by the end of the week, I wanted everything from that checklist I gave her finished. So you can kind of see, that this gives you an idea of how she's worked through the year. She wrote it all out. She kind of marked it off as she did her stuff. Some days were really busy. Some days were not very busy at all. But I think that's the beauty of doing this method, because you can kind of, tell your kids, hey, look, if you want to have Friday off or if you want to take Monday off, that's great. But you have to pace yourself through the rest of the week to get your stuff done. And I mean, that's something that these kids will take through their lives, to be able to pace themselves through college, even, at work. Being a self-sufficient learner and managing your time is really important. So I think this system just kind of, we've slowly adopted it through the years. It wasn't really easy to do when my kids were young. And honestly, we did more of like a checklist style, or maybe like a printed schedule when my kids were younger. But as they've gotten older, at least my older two, this method has really worked well. Just to kind of jot down the things that we're going to do every day. And, if I know we have a dentist appointment, I might pre-write it just so at the beginning of the week, so we know, okay, well, we might want to squeeze some stuff in here because we might have a dentist appointment that day or whatever. So this is one method that I've used. Now, You don't have to have a fancy planner. I mean, this too counts for daily plans, okay? Even just a checklist written on notebook paper. And I know a lot of people that do the notebook method. This is Ryder's. This was just a day that, or a week that I had written out his assignments for him. Now has not yet gotten to the point where Hartley is, where he kind of knows how to manage his time yet. So I have filled it in for him. But again, he has to choose when he does these things. And as you can see, like on most days, I'll write that he has baseball. So he knows that if all of his things aren't done, then he will be late to baseball. And for him, that's like a super motivator. So these are just 2 different methods for just like general daily plan, for my kids and their homeschool. And it's worked really well for us. So take it or leave it. It's not legally required. Your portfolio really is the big legal thing that you're going to want to show your evaluator, but I have had some evaluators that really appreciate seeing this. So I highly recommend that either you keep a planner or you keep your stuff from your portfolio, from your curriculum together, and just date all your things and kind of say, okay, well, this is what we did. But I like this method because it kind of, keeps me a little organized. It makes me see, what all we accomplished. And I can kind of go back and generally count how many school days, we did. And when we get towards about 100, we can start slacking off. So anyways, hopefully this was helpful. I'm going to try to create a couple of videos just, for general tips and stuff for people that are a little intimidated. But hopefully this is helpful.